Welcome back, detectives. Up in the sky, on a runway, or bolted into a cockpit, there are aeronautical mystery objects hiding in this video, and they're about to speak for themselves. Some of them are famous aviators, and some are everyday aeronautic tools. And it's your job to guess who, or what they are before the reveal. Pilots, aviation nerds, trivia lovers? This one's for you. Now, let's take off. Without me, planes would need much longer runways to safely take off and land. I'm a hinged panel on the trailing edge of a wing that a pilot lowers before takeoff and landing to increase lift at low speeds. I come in several different designs, not just one. I don't just extend, I can extend and drop at the same time. On many aircraft, I slide backward along a track before angling downward. I have a close cousin on the front of the wing called a slat, and we're often used together. While I work from the trailing edge, slats extend from the leading edge to smooth airflow over the top of the wing. If you guessed the flaps of an airplane, then good job. With the help of the flaps, planes can safely fly much slower without falling out of the sky. I'm a bright orange, cone-shaped fabric tube that airports use to show pilots which direction the wind is blowing and roughly how strong it is. Despite looking simple, I can be the deciding factor in which runway a plane uses to take off or land. I'm required equipment at most airports, not just a nice-to-have. My fabric has to be tough enough to handle constant abuse. I'm typically made from ripstop nylon or a similar durable synthetic, since I'm exposed to wind, rain, UV rays, and temperature swings nonstop, often for years without being replaced. At night, I don't just disappear from view. Many of my larger installations are lit up or paired with lighting fixtures, so pilots can still judge wind direction during nighttime takeoffs and landings when visual cues are otherwise limited. If you guessed a windsock, then excellent work. Chemical plants and helipads also use them alongside airports, so people can instantly spot toxic gas drift or wind hazards without looking at screens. I flew the Apollo 11 lunar module to the first crewed moon landing in 1969. But before that, I was a test pilot flying experimental aircraft for the US Air Force. My first words upon stepping onto another world are among the most quoted sentences in history. I carried a small piece of the Wright brothers' airplane to the moon. After Apollo 11, I taught aerospace engineering at the University of Cincinnati. I earned my student pilot's certificate before I obtained a driver's license. If you guessed Neil Armstrong, then great work. Neil served as a US Navy pilot and flew 78 combat missions during the Korean War, once ejecting after his plane was hit by anti-aircraft fire. I'm inflated after a plane ditches in water, and I'm designed to be seen from the air, often bright yellow or orange with reflective strips. Airline safety cards always show me being used calmly, but real evacuations rarely go that smoothly. I have a light attached to me for a reason. My light turns on automatically once I hit water, helping rescuers spot survivors in the dark or in rough seas. I'm not inflated until you need me to be. I'm designed to stay flat and compact during a flight. I usually have a backup way to inflate, not just one. Beyond the manual pull tab that triggers a CO2 cartridge, I typically also have a backup oral inflation tube. If you guessed a life vest, you are correct. Life vests feature a tiny attached plastic whistle so you can call for help in the dark or fog. I was originally made of silk, then nylon, and I've saved countless lives by slowing a fall through the air. Ironically, the same design principle that keeps me open also makes wing-shaped versions useful for military cargo drops. I have a backup built in, just in case. Skydivers typically wear two of me stacked together, a main canopy and a reserve. I can open myself automatically if I have to. Many rigs include a device that senses altitude and speed, and will trigger my reserve to deploy on its own if a jumper falls unconscious or doesn't pull in time. A safeguard that has saved lives when nothing else could. Early versions of me were also used to slow down objects other than humans, like dropping supplies or equipment safely from aircraft. The mystery object is a parachute. Leonardo da Vinci drew a triangular linen parachute concept around the year 1485. He believed a person could jump from any height without injury if they used it. In 1927, I became the first person to fly solo and non-stop across the Atlantic Ocean, spending over 33 hours alone in a small single-engine plane. My son's kidnapping became one of the most infamous crimes of the 20th century. I flew a specially built aircraft called the Spirit of St. Louis. I was a U.S. Army Air Service pilot before becoming internationally famous. I helped promote aviation and supported the development of safer air routes. If you guessed Charles Lindbergh, then great job. Charles Lindbergh did not sleep during his historic 33.5-hour transatlantic flight. Due to pre-flight preparation and insomnia the night before, he was continuously awake for roughly 55 to 63 hours. I disappeared over the Pacific Ocean in 1937 while attempting to fly around the world at the equator. Decades of searches have never definitively found my plane, and I remain one of aviation's most famous unsolved mysteries. I helped found the 99s, an organization for women pilots. I was also an author who wrote about my experiences in aviation. I launched a 1933 clothing line designed for active women. Did you guess Amelia Earhart? Did you know that in 1935, Earhart became a visiting professor at Purdue University at the invitation of Purdue President Edward Elliott? She was an advocate of higher education for women, especially in engineering and science. I'm designed to survive crashes, fires, and deep ocean pressure. Ironically, I'm usually painted bright orange, even though most people call me by a color I'm not. I record everything a pilot says in the cockpit. Investigators use my recordings to understand what happened during an accident or a serious incident. I am typically equipped with an underwater locator beacon for recovery after a water accident. Did you guess the black box? Engineers place black boxes in the rear tail section because it is statistically the part of the plane that suffers the least damage during an impact. We built and flew the first powered, controlled aircraft in 1903 on a beach in North Carolina. Neither of us had a college degree. We ran a bicycle shop before turning our attention to flight. Our first powered flight lasted only about 12 seconds. We used wind tunnel experiments to improve the design of our aircraft. We didn't invent the airplane out of nowhere. We built on a fatal tragedy. Our interest in flight was partly inspired by the death of German glider pioneer Otto Lilienthal in 1896, and we spent years studying his glider data before deciding we could improve on it. Did you guess the Wright brothers? Wilbur and Orville Wright flew together in an airplane only once in their entire lives. The two had promised their father, Milton Wright, that they'd never fly together at the same time, a safeguard so that no single crash could take both of their lives at once. I support an airplane while it is on the ground. I usually include wheels, struts, brakes, and related components. Most large airplanes retract me during flight to reduce drag. I absorb loads when an airplane lands and taxis. Some airplanes use tricycle landing gear with 2 main wheels and a nose wheel. The answer is landing gear. On large commercial jets, the total weight of the structural struts, wheels, and hydraulics adds up to thousands of pounds. I create thrust by rotating and pushing air backward. I can be powered by a piston engine or a turboprop engine. The shape and angle of my blades are designed to move air efficiently. Some of us can change blade angle while the airplane is flying. I am especially common on smaller aircraft and regional turboprops. Did you guess a propeller? Even when a plane itself is flying slowly, its propeller tips can spin fast enough to break the sound barrier. producing a sharp cracking sound of their own. This phenomenon happens because the tips travel in a wider circle than the center hub, making them spin much faster than the rest of the blade. I am the area where pilots sit and control the airplane. I contain instruments that show information such as altitude, speed, and heading. Modern versions of me often use digital displays instead of many traditional gauges. Pilots use my controls to operate the engines and flight controls. I am often called the flight deck. Did you guess a cockpit? Good job. The cockpit door has become a security fortress since 2001. Post 9/11 regulations require flight deck doors on commercial aircraft to be reinforced, bulletproof and lockable from the inside, with strict protocols around when and how they can be opened during flight. How did you do today, detectives? Did you guess the people and aviation tools before the last clues? From secret compromises between the Wright brothers to propellers quietly breaking the sound barrier, aviation's full of details that even frequent flyers never notice. Next time you're on a plane, boarding through that reinforced door, glancing at the windsock outside your window, you'll know exactly what you're looking at. If this scratched that trivia itch, hit subscribe. There's a lot more altitude left to climb. Thanks for flying with us, and we'll catch you in the next one. See you next time on the Secret Map Society channel.